This is the Pyle Centre, one of Surrey's busiest business complexes. There's food shops, clothing stores, and plenty of jewelers. It's also where gunshots were reportedly fired at a business in the early hours of November 23, 2023. Later that day, police issued a public warning, urging businesses to beware of extortionists. The business that was first targeted, a jeweler, has long since closed up shop, but anxieties continue to permeate here. Many business owners we have spoken with are reluctant to go on camera, fearing they could be next. So what led us here? Let's take a look. In January 2024, Vedic Hindu Cultural Society, a Surrey-based not-for-profit, organized a public forum. Concerned over reports of extortion calls received by businesses and residents in the city. They said callers were making threats demanding financial payments and creating an atmosphere of fear and uncertainty. At the forum, public officials made an impassioned plea to the victims to report the extortions to the police.
Please do not pay them.
In July of that year, Canadian Trucking Association of BC held another public forum in Surrey, shedding light on how South Asian trucking businesses were being targeted. At the forum, owners of two BC-based trucking companies publicly admitted that they received threatening phone calls demanding money.
We are staying most at home, and we have to wake up in the middle of the night and look around everything.
Just a few weeks later, this violent attack at the Abbotsford home of the other businessman, Jas Arora, followed by a phone call with a chilling message.
He goes, see what we did for you, to you, and now you watch. You have 3 days. Give us 3 days. We will kill you.
Arora says the caller told him the demand for money was coming from Lawrence Bishnoi, a man alleged to be running a number of criminal enterprises in India that have spread into North America in recent years. His business model is believed to be demanding payments from prominent South Asian community members, including high-profile personalities in the entertainment business. In September 2024, some Indian media reported his gang took responsibility for this shooting in Victoria, targeted at the home of Punjabi singer A.P. Dhillon. This video, which appears to be filmed by the attacker, shows two cars burning in the driveway as shots are fired at the house. A month later, RCMP Commissioner Mike Duham announced the force had evidence linking the extortions in Canada to 6 Indian diplomats. At the same news conference, Assistant Commissioner Bridget Gouin said investigators believe the Bishnoi gang is connected to the agents of the Government of India. After RCMP's press conference in October, some extortion victims that CBC News had spoken to previously said they felt the threat of extortion had receded and their lives appeared to be returning to normalcy. But that reprieve was short-lived as several cases of extortions in BC came to light by spring of 2025. Multiple businesses with ties to Surrey businessman Satish Kumar were shot at within a span of few days.
These guys took the responsibility. They said, we did that.
Kumar said weeks prior to the shooting, he received extortion calls which he reported to the police. But even after reporting it, police failed to protect him and his business. To air his grievances, Kumar held a public forum at his banquet hall, a place targeted in an earlier shooting.
We are gathered here today to address a matter of serious and growing concern.
Hundreds gathered at the forum, expressing their frustration over the slow pace of police investigations and lack of arrests.
I'm in their target right now, but they won't stop unless the government cannot do something.
Officials from all levels of government and police in attendance gave assurances. But just a day later, gunshots went off again at this trucking business in Surrey.
Like 2 guys came.
Owner Raghbir Singh Nijjar revealed his home was also shot at and attackers tried to set his car on fire in August 2024, following a phone call demanding $500,000.
They continue calling, asking for monies, right? but we already report RCMP or Surrey Police, right?
BC's extortion crisis got worldwide attention after shots were fired twice in 2 months at this cafe just a week after it opened. The cafe is owned by popular Bollywood comedian and actor Kapil Sharma. Again, perpetrators posted videos of the brazen attack on social media, triggering concerns for public safety within the local community. But it wasn't just big businesses being targeted. An extortion call to a Surrey car wash owner was followed by a shooting and break-and-enter at the business. The callers demanded $50,000.
So I'm not like the big businessman, like I'm not like a millionaire. I have a local family and like the twins kid at home.
In September, the BC government announced the launch of a provincial task force to tackle the growing number of extortion threats and shootings targeted at BC's South Asian community. Local police task forces dedicated to investigating extortion-related crimes were also announced by police forces in Surrey and Abbotsford. Surrey Mayor Brenda Locke also announced a $250,000 fund to reward tipsters who bring forward information that leads to successful extortion convictions in the city. Amid growing calls for action, the federal government listed the Lawrence Bishnoi gang as a terrorist entity in Canada. But a day later, a Surrey-based community radio station, which had opened its door just months earlier, became the target of a shooting. This shattered glass mark shows how the bullet almost made it to the on-air studio.
If we had been live at that time, that bullet would have gone right through me.
Police said the shooting is linked to a string of extortion cases and the investigation was taken over by the provincial task force. But the shootings ramped up. On October 6th, 3 more shooting incidents linked to extortions were reported in Surrey. The same day, for the first time in 2 years, police announced a number of arrests in relation to extortion-related crimes. Surrey police announced 3 individuals were arrested and charged in relation to an extortion investigation dating back to March 2025. Hours later, the provincial task force announced 2 men were charged with a shooting and arson at the residence of a person who had received extortion threats in Surrey. One of the accused, 26-year-old Abhijit Kingra, was also sentenced to 6 years in jail for his role in the September 2024 attack on musician AP Dhillon's home. Court docs obtained by CBC News show Kingra, who came to Canada on a student visa, was hired to terrorize Punjabi singer AP Dhillon at the behest of Lawrence Bishnoi gang. His co-accused, a 24-year-old Vikram Sharma, has also been charged, but he is believed to have fled Canada. Just as the local South Asian community was heaving a sigh of relief after the announcement of arrests and charges, it came face to face with another grim milestone. Police said they were investigating any possible links to extortion after a woman was left critically injured in an early morning shooting targeted at a residence in Surrey on October 12th. Just 3 days later, Cap's Cafe was shot at for the 3rd time.
Given the number of incidents that we have had, and if so far we've only had 1 person who's been jailed, several handful of people who've been charged, the need of the hour is a lot more stronger.
More shootings tied to extortions happened in late October, including shots fired at a home in Surrey's Panorama Ridge neighborhood on 29th. Police said shortly after the shooting, they were able to arrest 2 suspects and that the incident is believed to be extortion-related. The 2 arrested have since been released, pending further investigation. The CBC has made efforts to speak with more extortion victims within the local South Asian community here in BC, but we have been met with challenges. Victims are hesitant to speak up, fearing retribution from their tormentors. Even those who are not impacted by this crisis directly don't want to speak out. concerned that it may put a target on their backs. Some even question the efficacy of the process. In private, some business owners admit they know victims who have paid the extortion money, and some of the victims who did not pay, they say, have moved out of the country. A crisis that appears to have no end in sight for now. Sohrab, Sandhu, CBC News, Surrey.